Deep and profound realizations happening at the Lee Reacts household tonight. Gotta love it. Hi guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. Bam. I know I am. We are back with Fleetwood Mac. Oh yeah, this is courtesy of our patron, Patrick. Thank you for your support, Patrick, as always, my friend. I truly appreciate you. We're checking out the track Hypnotized. Came out in 73, I think, right? Yep. Mystery to Me was the album. It was released as a single as the B-side to For Your Love, and this has been described as a gorgeous and lyrically strong song, and it is referred to as the album's best track. Hey, I'm there, man. We've done plenty of Fleetwood Mac. I'll link the playlist up there. I'm going to cut the jibber jabber. I'm ready to get into it. There's a Patreon and a PayPal in the description if you want to help the channel out. It would be very, very much appreciated. I'll just say that. All right. Hypnotized, Fleetwood Mac. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Mick. Hi-hat is juicy, bro.
Yes, the same kind of story that seems to come down from long ago.
This is very different already.
Two friends having coffee together when something flies by their window. It might be out on that lawn, which is wide, at least half of a playing field. Because there's no explaining what your imagination can make you see and feel.
This is awesome already.
Your body knows nothing. You know you're hypnotized.
There's so much happening, but it's all so compacted.
Now it's not a meaningless question to ask if they've been and gone.
Oh my god, Mick is... Oh my god.
I remember a talk about North Carolina in a strange, strange pond. You see, the sides were like glass in the thick of a forest without a road.
This is so smooth, dude.
And if any man's hand ever made that land, then I think it would have showed. It seems like a dream. They got me hypnotized.
You're right, Patrick. I have never heard anything like this. I'm not gonna lie.
And I know that's right.
It's hypnotizing for sure. That progression is so cool. Oh my god. That's too good, bro.
Seems like a dream. Got me hypnotized. They say there's a place down in Mexico where a man can fly over mountains and hills.
Bob Welch on lead vocals. What a nice voice he's got.
He don't need an airplane or some kind of engine, and he never will. Now you know it's a meaningless question to ask if those stories are right. 'Cause what matters most is the feeling you get when you're hypnotized. When it seems like a dream.
That bass.
Got you hypnotized. Your body means nothing. You're hypnotized.
The layering is just perfect.
It seems like a dream. They got you hypnotized.
Whoever produced this is a genius.
Yeah, that's when they got you hypnotized.
No. It's almost
It
over.
seems like a dream. It seems like a dream. 'Cause when your body means nothing,
Wow.
you float around and got you hypnotized.
That is instant playlist material. That song seems like it's very ahead of its time in some aspects, and it's very of its time. And then it seems very out of time. Like it's not even stuff we've really caught up to yet in some aspects. That was such an interesting blend of, like, I wouldn't even say like jazz fusion, maybe like lounge sort of, not even like lounge jazz like instrumentation, but just like the overall like, not physique, that's the wrong way. How should I put it? Just the overall atmosphere of it, I guess, if I want to take a cop-out word right there, you know, just the whole feel of it was very jazzy, but it was very restrained at the same time, but they were, like, the layers of it were just so perfect. There were so many things going on at once, but it didn't feel very rushed or bothered or anything like that. Like, it felt like everything was perfectly happening in sequence, that it was like this endless loop of that progression basically going back and forth. And it was just so intense, but like also it was like hot and cold at the same time, if that makes any sense. You know, like that shouldn't be possible, but that's kind of what they accomplished there in a way. I'm not going to lie, because it felt so alive, but it also felt not dead. That's a better way to put it, but very just like, I don't know. It felt in the middle. Very in the middle, but it also had very highs and lows to it. That's what I'm saying. The duality of it's very interesting. There's some cognitive dissonance happening trying to figure it out, but maybe after a couple, re-listens, it'll fully sink into what it is. But I really like that overall sound from the bass and the percussion. The rhythm section in general was very, very a part of the entire song. Like everything was connected, even though that's how a song works, but I mean, like, to, like, the most minute detail, everything was, like, complimentary, And I like songs like that. And Patrick said in his comment when he requested this that he has, like, a list of unique songs that don't really sound like anything else. That's kind of what this had going on. It had, like, a surfer beach vibe while also having that jazzy vibe. And that's two separate worlds right there. So right there, it also is that hot and cold sort of, description I put there. But let's get to the personnel list. Bob Welch, lead vocals and guitar. Bob Weston on guitar. Christine McVie on keyboards and backing vocals. John McPhee on bass guitar. And Mick Fleetwood on drums. Killing it, man. That hi-hat throughout the song. I was following that the whole time, and it was just so damn crispy, juicy, whatever word you want to use. It was great. And I think that was honestly, I'd say maybe that and the guitar and the vocals are like my favorite, I don't know, parts of the music itself, but I really liked the sum of the parts. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a great song, big picture, and also little picture. If you get into the details, it's also very, very good. The keys, like I said, it's kind of hard to talk about one thing without talking about another, because they're all so layered on top of each other. Like, that progression from the bass and guitar was very good. I also like the lead too, like the solos that were kind of like ethereal almost in the atmosphere. Very, very cool, man. Like I said, this begs for a re-listen. Like, I was that close to re-listening to it right here, but I didn't, because I want to listen to it on my own time, to be honest, to actually sit there and jam to it, because that's, like I said, that's instant playlist material right there. And I don't say that lately. You guys know I don't say that much, so that's a great song right there. Thank you, Patrick. That was excellent. And if you guys think you have a great song just like that, you think it would blow my fucking mind like that one just did, leave it down in the comments, or you can join our Patreon, and that'll make sure that it gets done. The link is in the description. We'd love to have you. We have a Discord community and lots of cool little features and tons of blocked videos and full album reactions that are just for Patreon. They're on there. Check them out. And I guess I should talk about my favorite thing overall. That's hard. I actually had to think about it for a second. I'm usually pretty quick. I'd say that, like I said, the combination of things is probably the best part of it, but still, if I had to pick one thing that made the whole song, it'd be Mick Fleetwood on the fucking drums, bro. Of course I'm going to pick Mick. What are you talking about, bro? Come on. That was sick, dude. Like I said, that hi-hat and the snare, just both of it, oh my God. I was just listening to it the whole time, and it's like drummer ASMR, as I like to say. It's just very pleasing to the ears. And I think I'll leave it at that. Profound realizations how much music, this is from like all the way in the very beginning of the video, how much music like influences us without us really knowing it. I was re-listening some old music from when I was younger, and kind of when I was really big into drugs, to be honest. And it's crazy. The music I listen to, I don't listen to it at all anymore. And I listened to it all the time when I was, I don't want to put it out there, even though you guys are right now, using opiates and such in certain ways. I was listening to it 24/7. I was so sad and so beating myself about all kinds of things all the time for no reason, you know. And I don't know. That music was very powerful, and it controlled me in a way. And I didn't really think about it until somebody pointed it out to me, you know, that all I listened to was this certain type of music, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I just was sitting here realizing as I was listening to that music that they were totally right the entire time. And I hated them for saying that I had to stop listening to that music. I hated them for it. But that's because they were right, you know what I mean? I knew deep down, and they were right. And I'm glad that I'm starting to like change all that music with stuff like this, you know, like this is great. This isn't going to make me want to go shoot dope, you know, but the stuff that I used to listen to really, really could, you know, especially with the memories I've tied to it, you know, but I'll leave it at that. Sorry for rambling. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, that was excellent. You guys rock. See you later.